Hello, this is Dr. Do again. This video is viewing history through reading. I'm going to continue to read. Meanwhile, our women and children will live in fortified cities for protection from the inhabitants of the land. We will not return to our homes until every Israelite have received his inheritance. We will not receive any inheritance with them on the other side of the Jordan, because our inheritance has come to us on the east side of Jordan. Then Moses said to them, If you will do this, if you will arm yourself before the Lord for battle, and if all of you will go armed over the Jordan before the Lord until he had driven his enemies out before him, then when the land is subdued before the Lord, you may return and be free from your obligation to the Lord and to Israel, and this land will be your possession before the Lord. But if you fail to do this, you will be sinning against the Lord, and you may be sure that your sin will find you out. Build cities for your women and children, and pens for your flocks, but do what you have promised. The Gadites and Reubenites said to Moses, We, your servants, will do as our Lord commands. Our children and wives, our flocks and herds will remain here in the cities of Gilead. But your servant, every man armed for battle, will cross over to fight before the Lord, just as our Lord says. Then Moses gave orders about them to Eleazar the priest and Joshua son of Nun, and to the family heads of the Israelite tribes. He said to them, If the Gadites and the Reubenites, every man armed for battle, cross over the Jordan with you before the Lord, then when the land is subdued before you, give them the land of Gilead as their possession. But if they do not cross over with you armed, they must accept their possession with you in Canaan. The Gadites and the Reubenites answered, Your servant will do what the Lord has said. We will cross over before the Lord into Canaan armed, but the property we inherit will be on this side of the Jordan. Then Moses gave to the Gadites and the Reubenites and the half-tribe of Manasseh, son of Joseph, the kingdom of Sihon, king of the Amorites, and the kingdom of Og, king of Bashan, the whole land with its cities and the territories around them. The Gadites built up Dibon, Ataroth, Arath, Shoho, Jazer, Jegbeah, Beth Nimrah, and Beth Haran as fortified cities, and built pens for their flocks. And the Reubenites rebuilt Heshbon, Elilai, and Kiriathaim, as well as Nebo and Baal Meon. These names were changed, and Sibmah, they gave names to the cities they rebuilt. The descendants of Micah, son of Manasseh, went to Gilead, captured it, and drove out the Amorites who were there. So Moses named Gilead to the Macharites, and the descendants of Manasseh, and they settled there. Jair, a descendant of Manasseh, captured their settlements and called them Havoth Jair. And Nobath captured Kenath and its surrounding settlements and called it Nobah after himself. Staging the Israel's journey. Chapter 33. Here are the stages in the journeys of the Israelites when they came out of Egypt by division under the leadership of Moses and Aaron. At the Lord's command, Moses recorded the stages in their journey. This is their journey by stages. The Israelites set out from Ramesses on the 15th day of the first month, the day after the Passover. They marched out boldly in full view of all the Egyptians, who were burying all their firstborn, whom the Lord had struck down among them, for the Lord had brought judgment on their gods. The Israelites left Ramesses and camped at Succoth. They left Succoth and camped at Etham on the edge of the desert. They left Etham and turned back to Pi-Hahiroth to the east of Baal-zephon and camped near Migdol. They left Pi-Hahiroth and passed through the sea into the desert, and when they had traveled for 3 days in the desert of Etham, they camped at Marah. They left Marah and went to Elim, where there were 12 springs and 70 palm trees, and they camped there. They left Elim and camped by the Red Sea. They left the Red Sea and camped in the desert of Sin. They left the desert of Sin and camped in Dophkah. They left Dophkah and camped at Alash. They left Alash and camped at Raphidim, where there was no water for the people to drink. They left Raphidim and camped in the desert of Sinai. They left the desert of Sinai and camped at Kibroth Hattaavah. They left Kibroth Hattaavah and camped at Hazeroth. They left Hazeroth and camped at Rithmah. They left Rithmah and camped at Rimmon Perez. They left Rimmon Perez and camped at Libnah. They left Libnah and camped at Rasha. They left Rasha and camped at Kelatha. They left Kelatha and camped at Mount Shepher. They left Mount Shepher and camped at Haradah. They left Haradah and camped at Mikloth. They left Mikloth and camped at Tahath. They left Tahath and camped at Terah. They left Terah and camped at Methkah. They left Methkah and camped at Hashmonah. They left Hashmonah and camped at Moseroth. They left Moseroth and camped at Beni Jaakan. They left Ben Jaakan and camped at Hor Haggidgad. They left Hor Haggidgad and camped at Jotbatha. They left Jotbatha and camped at Abrona. They left Abrona and camped at Ezion-Geber. They left Ezion-Geber and camped at Kadesh and in the desert of Zin. They left Kadesh and camped at the mountain Hor on the border of Edom. At the Lord's command, Aaron the priest went up Mount Hor, where he died on the first day of the 5th month of the 40th year after the Israelites came out of Egypt. Aaron was 123 years old when he died on Mount Hor. The Canaanite king of Arad, who lived in the Negev of Canaan, heard that the Israelites were coming. They left Mount Hor and camped at Zalmonah. They left Zalmonah and camped at Punan. They left Punan and camped at Oboth. They left Oboth and camped at Lair Abrim on the border of Moab. They left Ain and camped at Dibon-Gad. They left Dibon-Gad and camped at Almon-Deblathim. I'm going to stop here today and continue next time. Thank you for watching.